Welcome to Void Realities, a place where restless minds find calm in the quiet of science and wonder. Tonight, you will drift on a journey beyond your world, past dust and planets, past stars and galaxies, into the vast web of creation itself. Together, we will follow a simple, timeless question. What is the largest thing in the universe? So let your body rest, let your breath slow, and let your mind float outward into the infinite night. What is the largest thing in the universe? You rest in the stillness of night. The world around you softens, quieting into a gentle hush. The steady rhythm of your breath joins the faint chorus of the dark, and in this silence, a question floats upward like a lantern rising into the sky. What is the largest thing in the universe? The question lingers, not as a demand, but as an invitation. Your body is calm, heavy against the earth or the mattress beneath you, yet your mind feels light, unanchored. You begin to drift, carried by the currents of curiosity, as though thought itself is a slow-moving river that guides you outward into the night. Above you, stars scatter across the sky. They seem countless, yet each one is only a pinprick of light, a sun burning in unimaginable distance. You have looked up at them before, perhaps as a child, lying on your back in the grass, perhaps through a window during a sleepless night like this. Each time the sky seems endless, an ocean of glittering fire. But you know, even before this journey begins, that what you see is only a shallow surface of something far greater. You close your eyes and picture the earth itself. This small, blue world, spinning silently through space. For you, it feels immense. Mountains that take days to climb, oceans that stretch across the horizon, skies that rise endlessly above your head. Yet when you step back in imagination, when you see Earth from afar, it becomes no larger than a bead, a fragile marble suspended in darkness. The thought soothes you. It is humbling and comforting at once. The problems that feel heavy in your daily life are lighter than they seem, resting on a planet that is itself so small in the grand design. You breathe out slowly, feeling the release. And still, the question grows. If Earth is not the largest, what comes next? Your thoughts move outward, to the moon that drifts around the planet, to the sun that holds the earth in its pull. Compared to you, the sun is immense, its heat and energy sustaining every heartbeat you have ever felt. But even the sun is just a star among billions. You imagine yourself standing on a quiet shore, looking at the waves rolling in. Each wave feels vast as it rises above you, but you sense that behind it lies an entire ocean, endless and waiting. The sun is one wave, bright and powerful, but it is not the ocean. You feel the quiet pull to keep going, to keep asking. As your body sinks deeper into rest, your mind drifts farther outward. You think of stars gathered together, bound in constellations, clustered in galaxies. Already the scale begins to slip beyond easy comprehension. You feel small, yet not lost. Like a child being carried in the arms of a parent, secure in something greater than yourself. The night cradles you in this thought. The vastness is not threatening. It is calming. It reminds you that everything has its place, from the smallest grain of dust to the widest structure in the universe. Even you, lying here now, belong to this story. You are not separate from it. You are woven into it, a part of the same unfolding pattern. The question remains open, glowing softly. What is the largest thing? You cannot yet see the answer, but the journey has begun. Your heart beats gently, your mind drifts outward, and you sense that each step will bring you closer. And as you float on this quiet tide, another thought begins to stir, just on the edge of awareness. If stars gather into galaxies and galaxies into something more, what might come after that? You drift farther now, following the question outward. The stars above do not appear all at once. They are built from something smaller, something hidden. Before suns and planets, before galaxies themselves, the universe was filled with dust. Tiny grains, no larger than specks of smoke, drifted through the dark. They seem insignificant, but within their simplicity rests the blueprint of worlds. You picture it gently, particles colliding, clinging together the way morning dew gathers on a blade of grass. The force guiding them is gravity, soft yet unyielding, pulling everything toward everything else. Over vast stretches of time, dust becomes pebbles, pebbles become rocks, rocks merge into mountains, and mountains gather into planets. What begins as nearly nothing becomes something you could stand upon, something that carries oceans and skies. Your breath falls into rhythm with this thought, each inhale like gathering, each exhale like release. Slowly, worlds take shape in the darkness. Some are small, little spheres of rock like Mercury, scorched by their suns. Others are giants, Jupiter-sized, vast enough to hold more than 1,000 Earths within their invisible bellies. These planets are sculpted by chance and collision, yet their order is not random. They orbit, they balance, they find their place in the slow dance of creation. You imagine Earth again, but not as the home you know. You see it as it once was, a glowing ball of molten stone, slowly cooling, wrapped in clouds of steam. Out of that steam came rain, endless rain, falling for millions of years, filling basins, carving valleys, giving shape to oceans. Dust had become a world, and the world had become alive. Still, even in their grandeur, planets are stepping stones. Compared to you, Earth is vast beyond comprehension. Yet when you set it beside the sun, it is almost nothing. And the sun itself, so commanding in your sky, is but a flicker when seen against the greater canvas. This realization does not shrink you, it softens you. You sense the humility of being part of something layered. Dust becoming planets, planets circling stars, stars forming galaxies. Each step belongs to a chain, each link connected to the next. You are part of it too, born from the dust of old stars, your bones and blood carrying the same elements once forged in cosmic fire. You let this thought settle, a quiet weight in your chest. Carbon, iron, calcium, oxygen, all of it once drifting dust, gathered patiently, waiting to become you. The universe does not rush. It builds with tenderness, grain by grain, moment by moment. Your body rests deeper into stillness. You imagine walking across a vast desert, endless sand beneath your feet. Each grain seems too small to matter, yet together they create landscapes of beauty and immensity. So too with the cosmos. The tiniest dust becomes the ground on which entire civilizations stand. And yet, as large as these worlds feel, a whisper reminds you, planets are not the final measure. They are homes, yes, but not the largest structures. They are drops in a larger sea, scattered through space like islands. Beyond them, greater giants await, waiting to be seen. You pause in the rhythm of the journey, aware of the mystery pulling you forward. If dust can grow into worlds, what grows beyond worlds? If a planet can cradle life, what greater stage cradles the planets themselves? The question glimmers softly, like a star just below the horizon. It draws you onward, not with urgency, but with the promise of wonder. You breathe in, letting the mystery fill you, and prepare to follow the path beyond worlds, toward the stars. You drift farther into the night, carried past the planets that orbit silently in their courses. Beyond their rocky bodies and swirling clouds, you arrive at the sources of light themselves, the stars. To your eyes, they appear as gentle pinpricks scattered across the dark. Yet each one is a sun, burning with a power so steady that life on distant worlds can unfold beneath its warmth. You imagine standing close to such a star. The heat is overwhelming, the light so intense that it swallows shadow. The sun you know, the star that anchors Earth, is vast enough to hold more than 1,000,000 Earths inside it. And still, in the catalogue of stars, the sun is modest, an average, middle-aged star, steady but unremarkable when compared to others. There are stars smaller than the sun, faint embers glowing in red. These red dwarfs are quiet companions of the universe, burning slowly, their fuel lasting for trillions of years. Patient and enduring, they whisper through time. And then, at the other end of the spectrum, there are giants, stars that swell to unfathomable size, their surfaces stretching outward like inflating balloons of fire. You picture Betelgeuse, the red supergiant in the constellation Orion. If it were placed where your sun is now, it would extend beyond the orbit of Mars, swallowing Mercury, Venus, Earth, and perhaps even Jupiter. A single star, large enough to engulf your entire solar system, its surface a storm of glowing plasma. And yet, despite its enormity, Betelgeuse is but one star among countless others, one ember in a fire without edge. The thought is humbling. You feel the rhythm of your breath steady, as if each inhale draws in starlight and each exhale releases it back into the night. The stars do not compete for size, they simply are. They live their lives according to the fuel within them, shining, swelling, and eventually fading into new forms. When a star's life ends, it transforms. Some collapse into white dwarfs, tiny dense spheres, no larger than Earth but heavier than the sun. Others die more violently, exploding into supernovae that outshine entire galaxies for a brief moment, scattering the elements that will someday form new stars, new planets, perhaps even new life. Out of endings come beginnings, and the cycle continues. You remember that the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen filling your lungs were born in these dying stars. Their immense power reached across billions of years to become the body you rest in now. The stars are not just distant points, they are your ancestors. You carry their history with you, quietly, in every breath and heartbeat. Still, as immense as stars can be, you sense the story is not yet finished. Stars gather together by the hundreds of billions, drawn into spirals and swirls that stretch across unimaginable distances. You close your eyes and see it forming, a vast congregation of light, a family of suns drifting as one. Your mind rests in the glow of this thought. Stars, with all their brilliance and power, are pieces of a larger puzzle. Each one is a candle, but together they form constellations, galaxies, and something even greater beyond. The question of the largest thing has not yet been answered, but you feel yourself carried gently toward it. You breathe slowly, letting the stars fade into a soft blur, and sense the next step calling. If stars gather into vast collections, how vast must those collections be? If billions of suns can belong to one body, then what kind of body must that be? You leave the single stars behind, their brilliance still glowing softly in memory, and step farther outward. You notice how they cluster together, bound by gravity's quiet hand. What seemed like scattered sparks now reveal themselves as patterns. Grand spirals, smooth ellipses, tangled clouds. These are galaxies, the cities of the universe, where billions of suns reside together in shared harmony. Imagine one galaxy, the Milky Way, the home of your sun, your Earth, your body lying here now. From within, it feels infinite, a disk of stars stretching across the night sky like spilled milk, soft and luminous. But if you could step outside and look back, you would see it as a spiral, its arms curling gracefully, filled with dust and gas, clusters and stars. 100 billion suns inhabit it, each one with its own planets, its own possibilities. Your mind drifts along its arms like a traveler moving down a long, glowing road. Star nurseries appear, where clouds of gas collapse to form new suns. Nebulae bloom like colorful gardens, their light delicate, their shapes shifting slowly over millennia. You pass through ancient clusters of stars, bound together for billions of years, and then drift outward again, toward the edge. There, you look beyond, and what you see takes your breath, even in the silence of thought. The Milky Way is not alone. All around it, stretching across the darkness, lie other galaxies, each one as immense, each one an island of light. Some are spirals like your own, with arms outstretched like whirling dancers. Some are smooth ellipsed, great glowing spheres. Others are irregular, distorted by collisions and tides, shaped by the gravity of their neighbors. You try to count them, but the numbers dissolve. 2 trillion galaxies may fill the observable universe, each one with hundreds of billions of stars, each star with planets, each planet with moons, each one a story. The sheer scale washes over you like a tide, not overwhelming, but soothing, the way the ocean's waves lull you to rest. You think of standing on a beach, grains of sand slipping between your fingers. A single grain feels tiny, yet when you look around, the shore stretches beyond sight, each grain part of a larger whole. Galaxies are like these grains, scattered across the cosmic shore, each one unique, yet together, forming a pattern too vast to measure. The Milky Way itself drifts in a small group, called the local group, alongside Andromeda and dozens of smaller galaxies. Andromeda, your nearest neighbor, is rushing closer, so slowly that it will take billions of years before it meets the Milky Way. When that moment comes, the 2 galaxies will merge, their stars passing mostly unharmed, their shapes changing into something new. Even at this grand scale, creation continues. Nothing is static, all is movement. Your breath follows this rhythm: expansion, contraction, gathering, release. The galaxies dance in the dark, not in haste, but in patience, their movement slower than any clock you know. To them, a billion years is a single step. You lie still, soothed by this thought. The galaxies do not hurry, yet they create beauty that endures beyond imagining. And as vast as they are, you sense again that the journey is not yet finished. If stars belong to galaxies, then galaxies themselves belong to something greater still. You feel the question rise again, soft but insistent. What lies beyond this ocean? What structure holds these galaxies together, arranging them into shapes larger than themselves? The night whispers no answer yet, only an invitation to drift farther, deeper, toward the web that binds it all. You float now beyond the ocean of galaxies, your mind drifting deeper into the fabric of space itself. From afar, the galaxies no longer seem like countless individuals. Instead, they reveal a hidden order, as though the universe has woven them into a tapestry too vast to see from within. Imagine standing close to a spider's web at dawn. Each thread glimmers with dew, shining in the soft light. Up close, it appears delicate, fragile. But when you step back, you see the pattern, a design that connects every strand into one great whole. The universe, too, holds such a pattern, the cosmic web. Here, galaxies are not scattered at random. They cluster along invisible highways of gravity and dark matter, forming filaments that stretch for hundreds of millions of light years. These filaments twist and cross, weaving together into a lattice that binds the cosmos. Between them lie voids, immense expanses nearly empty, darker and lonelier than any night you have ever imagined. The scale is staggering. A single filament can contain thousands of galaxies, each with billions of stars. These structures are so immense that light itself, moving at its incomprehensible speed, takes hundreds of millions of years to cross them. Your mind tries to grasp the distance, but soon it lets go, relaxing into the rhythm of vastness. You picture the web as glowing threads suspended in darkness, galaxies like tiny jewels strung along its strands. Gravity, silent and patient, shapes this design. Dark matter, invisible yet real, acts as the unseen scaffolding, pulling normal matter into place. Without this hidden force, galaxies would not cluster, filaments would not form, and the cosmic web would never emerge. It is humbling to imagine that most of the universe is something you cannot see. The stars, the planets, even your own body, all made of ordinary matter, are only a small fraction. The rest is dark, mysterious, known only by its pull. And yet, without it, the universe would be shapeless, a fog without form. You rest in this paradox. The invisible gives shape to the visible. Your breath slows as you picture yourself drifting through one of these voids. There is no sound, no star, no light. The emptiness is vast, yet not frightening. It feels like a pause, a silence between notes of a song. Then, slowly, you move toward the glowing filament, where galaxies shine like beads of light strung across the dark. The contrast deepens your sense of wonder. In this web, you see the largest structures ever discovered. Superclusters of galaxies, chains stretching across unimaginable distances, connect along these filaments. Some, like the Laniakea supercluster, cradle your own Milky Way within their arms, a home within a home, an address in the cosmic city. Even these titanic clusters are not separate. They flow into the web, part of a greater design. You let yourself sink into this realization. What seems isolated, a star, a galaxy, even a cluster, is always connected to something larger. Nothing stands alone. The universe is not a scatter of points, but a woven fabric, every thread tied to another. You, too, belong to this weave, your life one strand in the great design. The thought is comforting. As you rest, you imagine that your own nervous system mirrors this structure. Neurons branching, connecting, forming pathways of thought. The pattern repeats itself. In your body, in forests, in rivers, in the web of the cosmos. The universe seems to whisper that everything, from the smallest cell to the largest filament, belongs to the same rhythm. And yet, as immense as these webs are, a deeper question stirs. If galaxies gather into filaments and filaments into superclusters, what holds everything at once? What is the size of the universe itself? Does it have an edge, or is it endless? The question glows at the edge of thought, not urgent, but patient, inviting you to drift onward. The web has shown you vastness, but now you turn to face infinity. You have traveled outward through layers of creation, from dust to planets, to stars, to galaxies, in the great web that binds them together. Each step has opened your eyes wider, each scale more immense than the last, and now you find yourself standing at the threshold of the greatest mystery of all, the universe itself. The question rises softly. Is the universe the largest thing? It seems obvious at first. After all, galaxies, clusters, and filaments are contained within it. The universe is the stage on which everything unfolds. Time, space, matter, energy. Yet when you try to picture it, your mind falters. What shape does everything take? Where does it end, and what lies beyond? You imagine looking outward as far as possible, riding on beams of light that have traveled for billions of years. They carry ancient images, the faint glow of the cosmic microwave background, a whisper from the early universe when the first atoms formed. This light has stretched across 13.8 billion years of travel, reaching you now like an echo from a beginning. And still, even this does not show an edge, only a horizon, the farthest you can see. Scientists call this the observable universe, a bubble of visibility surrounding you in every direction. It is vast beyond comprehension, containing an estimated 2 trillion galaxies, each galaxy with billions of stars, each star with its own possibilities. The numbers dissolve into silence. But here is the wonder. Beyond the observable, the universe may continue without end. Like standing at the shore of an ocean at night, you see only as far as the horizon, but you know the waters stretch farther than your eyes can reach. The universe may be finite yet unbounded, like the surface of a sphere, or it may be truly infinite, extending forever in all directions. Infinity, a word that is more feeling than definition, lies at the edge of thought. You let yourself rest in this mystery. There is no need to solve it tonight. The not knowing is soothing, like a lullaby hummed in a language you do not fully understand. The vastness does not demand comprehension, it invites awe. You breathe slowly, and with each breath you sense how deeply connected you are. Your body is made of stardust. Your life unfolds within the rhythm of Earth, which orbits the Sun, which belongs to the Milky Way, which drifts in the Laniakea supercluster, which flows through the cosmic web, which expands within the universe itself. From the smallest cell in your body to the grandest filament of galaxies, you are part of the same unfolding whole. And if the universe is infinite, then there is no largest thing, only layers of scale without end. If the universe is finite, then it is still vast enough that no human mind can ever hold its size. In either case, the answer to your question dissolves gently into silence. The largest thing is the universe. Or perhaps the idea that there is no largest at all. You close your eyes and feel the weight lift. The question does not end in certainty. It ends in wonder. And wonder is enough. The night around you deepens, quiet and soft. Your breath steadies. Your body loosens into rest. The journey outward has brought you here. Not to a final answer, but to a horizon where thought itself becomes calm. And yet, even as you sink into this stillness, another whisper remains. If the universe is all that there is, what does it mean that it can also be aware of itself? Through you, lying here, asking the question. The journey outward has carried you far. From grains of dust to planets, from stars to galaxies, from the vast ocean of light to the cosmic web itself. Step by step, you have traveled across scales so immense they dissolve into silence. And now you rest at the edge of thought, where infinity becomes less of an answer and more of a presence. You feel your body here, small, warm, steady. And yet you also feel the universe within you. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen filling your lungs, the iron flowing in your blood. Each was once forged in the heart of stars. You are not separate from the story you have followed. You are its continuation, a living piece of the cosmos remembering itself. The question you carried, what is the largest thing in the universe, no longer feels like something that needs solving. The largest thing may be the universe itself, or it may be the thought that there is no final boundary at all. Either way, you find comfort in knowing that the answer is less important than the wonder. The mystery itself is a gift, a reminder that there will always be horizons to drift toward, even in the quiet of night. You breathe slowly, and with each breath you feel more deeply that you belong. You belong to Earth, to the Sun, to the Milky Way, to the web of galaxies, to the endless expanse beyond. You belong to the stillness, to the silence, to the rhythm of the universe unfolding. As your eyes grow heavier, you sense that the cosmos is not out there, distant and unreachable. It is here, within your heartbeat, within your breath, within the quiet turning of your thoughts. The universe is not only something you look at, it is something you are. And so the journey does not end. It continues in the rising of tomorrow's sun, in the quiet glow of starlight that crosses the night sky, in the steady rhythm of your own life moving gently forward. You rest now, carried by infinity, wrapped in the calm knowledge that you are small, yet inseparably part of everything.